Yo. Yo, yo. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Oh, the frustration is real. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. It seems that usually ends up happening if we're playing hardcore. It happens. It happens. I didn't even check to see if our character's still alive. I'll check after. I'm not too concerned about it at the moment. I'm just going to share this about. But yo, this is the most wanted. The story of the biggest and most notorious cheater in Yu-Gi-Oh history, Roy St. Clair. So like this is classic. This is old school. MegaCapitalG. Huge shout out to MegaCapitalG. Everything in the video is all his creativity, all that. Down in the description I have it. Everything goes to him for creating the video, and I appreciate him being able to create the video for us to take a look at and react to. It's been a hot minute since I've seen this, but I've watched it before. Just because, like, yo, man, I'm not feeling the greatest. Instead of going back, oh my god, instead of going back to playing Diablo, we might as well just chill out, and we will check this out. Alright, so yo, everything goes towards MegaCapitalG. Huge appreciation. Drop us a subscribe, like his video, all that stuff. Check him out. This is everything that he's offering down here. He has a Twitch, all of that. Check it out. But yeah, we're gonna check this out. This is actually really good. It's like over an hour long, so we're gonna be chilling for about an hour checking it out.
Cheating has been around forever in the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game.
That it has.
Something the community despises, and Konami themselves have taken many steps over the years in attempts to thwart it. And it's even been portrayed countless times in an extremely negative light in the various Yu-Gi-Oh anime series.
We'll full screen this shit.
Cheating can't be completely stopped no matter how much you try. It's sort of like that old saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way, and unfortunately, cheaters always seem to evolve just as the rules do. I once made a video cataloging some of the biggest instances of real-life cheating in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, but today you're going to learn exclusively about numero uno, the king of cheats, the real-life Bandit Keith of this game, his successes, his failures, and the public scrutiny he faced very often. I must warn you, there may be parts of this video that some find upsetting. This is the story of Yu-Gi-Oh's most notorious cheater, Roy St. Clair.
So Roy St. Clair here, it was a huge controversy that was going on around what he was doing in ranked league. You know what I'm saying? In competitions and all that and whatever. It was really fishy. It was weird the way how they ended up breaking it down. I kind of forget. I think it was something to do with the card or the sleeve of the card. Something about the corners of the cards that he knew or some shit like that. And the way how he shuffled is what I could kind of remember, because I remember I ended up watching a whole thing about Magic the Gathering where they had the cheaters in Magic the Gathering, and pretty much it was like frayed corners, card sleeves that were like certain ways and stuff like that in order for them to tell where cards are, on top of shuffling tricks.
Clair began his Yu-Gi-Oh journey at the young age of 16. Roy was from Greenbelt, Maryland, and started off in the DM era by playing at local card shops. As someone who also started playing Yu-Gi-Oh around this
Who remembers
time,
the DM era?
The regional circuit wasn't in full swing during 2003. This meant that Roy was initially limited to local competition. As luck would have it, Roy also got into Yu-Gi-Oh alongside his older brother Brian St. Clair, so at least he would always have someone to play against, whether or not he can make it to locals. By 2000.
Yo, facts. If you got a sibling, teach him how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. If you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, at least you got something to play with, right?
2004, however, Upper Deck had gotten a regional circuit rolling, and
back in the day, that's right, Upper Deck. Upper Deck was holding down Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, weren't they? Like around the same time.
Roy was absolutely hooked. In 2009, Roy told Konami in an interview that in his early days, he and his brother would try to go to every regional possible, and that it was a great experience. It wasn't just the competition and dueling he loved, but he also liked traveling to new places, meeting new people, and making friends along the way. While Roy was having a blast traveling and attending events, those close to him, like his brother, saw firsthand how good he was at the game, and that
So I think that's something that's really cool too. If you get a sponsor, and doing locals, and then you start getting into heavy competition, how you're able to travel around and stuff. I think that's pretty cool.
fun wasn't the only reward that Roy was reaping. Roy was without a doubt a natural talent, and one could even say a prodigy of this game. I say this because in his first full year of playing
Yoga Gel, what's going on, homie?
Roy miraculously became the #1 ranked player in the entire United States. As impressive.
That's a huge feat on its own, becoming the #1 player of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ranked in the entire US of A. That is nuts. That is crazy. Yeah, man. Yo, what's going on, bro? You been crazy busy? That's all good, man. Trust, I'm not feeling the greatest tonight. We were streaming a little bit of Diablo 2 there for our backup character in case our paladin ends up biting the dust. We have our backup druid, so we were playing that for a bit. It froze up, so it was like during that stream I was talking about whether or not we should just watch like what is it, like a documentary about TCG and whatever. And as soon as it crashed, I was like, no, what? That's a good idea. We're gonna throw this one on. The real life Bandit Keith, this Mamma Jamma Ruri here.
As that sounds, it probably wasn't Roy's largest accomplishment during those
Tired
years. Roy was a tremendous competitor, and his philosophy was fairly simple. Play the
Been
best
doing
match,
vinyl siding
build your deck as
lately.
good as
Yo,
possible,
vinyl.
and then test the crap out of it. Never worry about losing.
I've done that
Only worry
before
about
too,
getting
man.
better
Jesus.
and smarter each time you play. This may sound
Are you getting paid per wall or like per sheet of vinyl that you're putting up? Is that how you guys are doing it? It was something like that, the way how I was doing it before. I think it was like per wall that we had to do, and it was a bunch of little houses and shit that we had to do in this neighborhood and whatever. This is a long time ago, I was like 18, way back at 17 even, and we ended up doing a bunch of them. It was cool, like summer job for a bit. I made bank.
Roy wasn't just the #1 ranked U.S. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist in 2004. He was also a top-notch versus player. In fact, he followed up his #1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Ranking by in
Yo, bro, you need some knee pads. Get some roof for knee pads, dog.
Trading card game constructed format. Being the
Yo, I remember System. When System came out, damn, that's old. Constructed format being the #1. Yeah. The Incredible Four and Spider-Man. I remember these shit. You're hourly because you're working for someone. Yo, that's dope. Awesome.
Major trading card games should have made Roy feel like he was on top of the world, but it wouldn't come without.
Yo, Mello, what's happening?
Roy's first major suspension wasn't actually because of Yu-Gi-Oh, but rather the Versus TCG. Roy was at a $10,000 Versus tournament that also featured large qualifier events. According to Roy, his brother Ryan, and a friend Alex, after winning his match, Roy walked around the venue when he spotted Alex playing a game. Roy approached the ensuing game thinking his friend Alex and his opponent were playing a casual non-tournament battle. Alex was in the middle of a move when Roy casually said to another one of his friends, Paul, Alex made a misplay there.
Wow. So, like, calling shit out in the middle of a ranked match there, right? Thinking it was just a side game? Still. They'd have to start the game. I'd be like, bro, you just fucked me, eh? We gotta start the game over. Walking up and down the ladder is what hurts. Yeah, yo, trust me, man. Trust me. I used to work for a place called Iris, Independent Roof Inspection Services. We used to go do roofing, inspect roofs, attics, and all that. I feel you. You know what really sucks too? I'm afraid of heights. And like, I got my working at heights and all that and whatever, and I was doing roofing and shit. The dude I used to work for, his other son was an arborist, and I helped him out a bunch too. And that was scary as shit, climbing up trees with chainsaws and shit. That shit was nuts. Yo, so Mellow Charizard, friggin' welcome. Been a minute, dog. How you been? we're going to be playing a lot more Duel Links coming up because I think it's on the 7th. The Kaiba Cup's going to be dropping, and I am going to be taking part in that Kaiba Cup. There's always going to be a duel room open continuously so that we can practice, build new decks, test decks against each other, whatever. And I'm pretty much going to be streaming Kaiba Cup essentially the whole time. That is going to be popping. It's supposed to pop off on the 7th of next month. Oh my god. Yo, it was one of those. Yo, Alexandra, what's happening? So we're going to pop back into this. Let's check it out.
Roy was immediately asked by judging staff to leave the area. Alex ended up winning that game, but before the
baby girl's getting bigger every day. Yo, I'm so glad to hear, man. That's awesome. How's the weather been?
And he would be receiving a loss. Upper Deck's side of the story was quite different. According to Upper Deck judges, not only was Roy's act of saying aloud, Alex made a misplay there, completely unacceptable, but they also accused Roy of collusion, saying that on 4 separate occasions while
getting hit with collusion. 4 separate accounts.
Roy signaled to Alex by doing things such as grunting, shaking his head, or lifting his hands.
Yo, straight up, if it's like competitive like that, realistically, it's like you can't be chilling around. Your friends can't just be chilling around like that. If it's competitive in that kind of atmosphere, nah, man. $10,000 up for grabs, Jesus. I want to show you gear. Fry's Phoenix deck, nice. Same, yeah, word.
Roy was immediately disqualified from the 10.
Yo, Miss Saga, nice.
Lost at least $2,000.
Oh, word. I know you are.
As he was already in the semifinals. Upper Deck
I actually got to go over to the Upper Hand sometime soon. There, Miss Saga. I gotta go talk to homie.
Not just because of the prize loss, but he also knew that he would no longer be able to enter the 2004 U.S. Yu-Gi-Oh! National Championship, which ironically was being held the next day. Roy accused Upper Deck judging staff of singling him out, saying that Upper Deck judges had brought up his Yu-Gi-Oh! Credentials when speaking with him. Roy claimed that he overheard one of the judges say, quote, "He's a high-profile player. Let's make an example out of him."
Yo, just imagine that, being a high-profile player, you're there to compete, and, like, obviously he's in the wrong. He shouldn't have been grunting and doing all that. It's like you're signaling to your friend collusion that they're talking about. It's like, why would you put yourself in that kind of predicament if you're the number 1 player in the U.S. and you're at this high-stakes tournament and shit like that, and all that's on the line? He should understand, like, he should recognize the realness and not be doing stuff like that, because he's just making himself look bad. Not only that, he's like tarnishing the name of what they got going on for Konami tournaments, right? Acting like that. Yo, Graham, what's going on, dog? Crystal was alright. We still need to face Red. I've actually been playing that game off to one side. I haven't played it for a couple of days, but I've been playing it off to one side. I'm continuously doing the Elite Four. We almost have a Dragonite, which is dope. And we're almost ready to go and face Red, but we are playing Pokemon Emerald. So Thursday night Pokemon Emerald is going to be popping off pretty much. On the 7th of next month, the Kaiba Cup is supposed to be popping off for Duel Links, so there's going to be a lot more of the Duel Links streaming popping off overall. Let's get back into this.
Into these videos, but in my opinion, it was highly suspicious that Roy would claim not to know his friend Alex was playing in a tournament game, when by Alex's own admission, they entered these events together earlier that day. I also found
what a tool. What a tool. What an idiot.
Behind Alex's opponents and facing Alex. Lastly, Alex even admitted online in a post on Pojo that he clearly heard Roy's remarks in their ensuing game. So,
desperation play. Lose it all for nothing. It's just a card game. It's a children's card game, okay?
One silver lining out of the entire situation is that Roy would still be allowed to enter the 2004 Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship because it was technically a Konami-hosted event. The grinding that Roy had done to become the top-ranked Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist had finally paid off, and he qualified through the point system without even having to attend the U.S. Nationals.
Yo, Just imagine being that good that you don't even have to attend the U.S. Nationals. You already got your spot. And the upper hand, the upper deck was trying to jerk him around right there too, because it's an upper deck event. It's not a Konami event. Everything he was doing was through Konami. Like, it makes sense, but still, obviously, with the controversy over the whole situation, he should have known better. I feel like he should have known better.
But tried to make the most out of his trip to Worlds, which was held in Los Angeles,
Pop
California,
on.
and finished tied for fourth place.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, bro. For sure, Mello.
Considering Roy did better than any duelist who earned their invitation through nationals, and that included the great Tarasak Poonsavat. After Roy served his suspension, he returned to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, looking to prove how good he truly was. At the first Shonen Jump of 2005, both he...
Shonen Jump event, sick. Everyone getting it down. See the deck. No XZs, no synchros, no links.
And his older brother Brian made pretty big statements as they both made it to the quarterfinals. Despite dueling each other often, they opted to run fairly different decks. This would be Roy's biggest accomplishment of the year, but in 2006, he really turned it up. Roy started out the year by coming within an inch of the Shonen Jump Orlando Championship in March. As one of the bigger names in the tournament, Roy took his grindy control deck and pushed it straight to the finals, where he was upset by Michael Lux in Game 3, as Mike top deck snatched steel to seal Roy's fate. Looking to immediately bounce back, Roy entered Shonen Jump Baltimore less than a month later and made it to the quarterfinals before losing to the eventual winner and champion Shane Scurry. However, this time around, Roy went completely off the rails and played a chaos deck that revolved around Zombra the Dark and Deck Devastation Virus. He had half a...
Yo, that's crazy. That is freaking crazy. Where's the spliff, bro? Too serious. Yo, no papers, man. And off to one side, I'm over here. I'm just like dabbling on my pipe and shit. I'm not going to do that on stream. It's kind of whack. It's a little bit sideways, right? I'm just not feeling all that great, you know? Upset stomach, bro. I've been up since 3:30 this morning. It's just like, I wasn't feeling good yesterday. I'm sorry about missing the stream yesterday. Pretty much just went to sleep. And then today I've been like knocking out throughout the day and whatever. Like washroom. Just not feeling good, bro. Not feeling the greatest.
Easy to summon targets
appreciate that though.
And he knew that deck devastation could be an auto win button under the right situation.
Or I could be super ghetto.
Like not only showed that Roy was again a top tier duelist, but it also showcased his excellent.
Forget Grava, bro. I got rice paper.
Roy was chosen to headline the Juggernaut Team Hunger Force in 2006. This team consisted of names like Brent Getter, Ivan Flores, Brian Long, and Chris Mateo, who all won Shonen Jump championships during GX. Roy was now a member of and surrounded by arguably the strongest team in the TCG. Sadly, Roy simply would not be able to sustain...
Yo, Gajel, have yourself a good night, man. Don't work too hard, bro. Don't overwork yourself. Make sure you stay hydrated. Take care of yourself, homie. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Have a good one, Doc.
Huge threads on sites like VersusRealms.com claiming Roy had started games in the top cut before letting his opponent cut his deck. Alleged statements from past teammates saying Roy had taught them how to perfectly stack any 5 cards to the top of their deck. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists claiming...
yo, man, I'm like sipping on tea and stuff. I'm just chilling. It's almost gone. I should be good by tomorrow, to be honest with you.
There's even a crazy story about Roy once dueling a girl who has the life point lead advantage after turns in time. The story goes that the girls relieved that she won when Roy jokingly asked to play it out for fun just to see who would have ultimately won the duel.
Wow, yeah, I forgot about that.
During the next turn, when a judge walks by and asks who's leading in life, the girl responds, "I already won, we're just dueling for fun," only to have Roy state, "I have no idea what she's talking about. As you can see, I clearly have the life point lead." Stories of Roy's cheating escapades were starting to have a reputation.
Yo, that's some shady shit, bro. That's some shady shit. What are you talking about? Nah, man. Nah. She's talking shit, man. She thought she won. We were discussing about the possibility of her winning, but as you can see, this is what's going on. What a guy.
The thing is, however, there was never definitive proof. That was until one fateful regional in College Park, Maryland. At this particular regional, Roy was caught red-handed deck switching. As Roy sat down before the round was to begin, judges selected him for a random deck check, only to discover that the deck he had handed to them was completely different than the deck list he had turned in. Many in the
Yo, yo, you get banned for that shit. Honestly, you could probably get banned for that shit. Kick you out the whole tournament and just revoke anything that you're doing for Konami, right? Like I feel that's what happened. I don't really remember. I know we got banned and stuff, but I don't know if this was the big kicker or if it was something else.
community suggested that Roy was playing two decks to reduce the possibility of running into an unwinnable matchup. Also, in case you're wondering, not submitting your deck for a random deck check is grounds for automatic disqualification and an unsupporting conduct suspension. Roy was soon given a suspension for cheating and a sentence of about 3.5 years.
Damn.
His friends proclaimed his innocence, saying that Upper Deck hated him because he won so much. Roy also went on a short online tirade saying, quote, "Who cares if I cheat? Guess what? All the pros do it," unquote. Actions like
Wow.
this, as well as Roy's suspension for cheating, made the Yu-Gi-Oh community immediately question all of Roy's accomplishments.
Well, like yo, back in the day, there was a bunch of cheaters for like a bunch of different card games between Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, like all those card games back in the day. Everybody cheated. Everybody cheated. It wasn't so crazy popular where like today we have YouTube and like streaming services and whatever where we can actually watch it, the TCG events and whatever that go on. Back in the day, it was like you'd have camera crews and whatever, but it wasn't really a big thing on TV. You know what I mean? Shonen Jump magazines would come out and whatever. It'd be big in that if you were into that, right? Kind of like the Nintendo magazines way back in the day.
As well as his former title of #1
Dang,
ranked
this
US
guy's a
duelist.
trip.
I'll teach you to respect my title.
I believe
Need
Roy
more
was
reactions?
irate because
Heard,
he never
heard.
expected to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh again and was frustrated by the over 3-year ban that he had received.
Before we go on though, like huge shout out. Everything goes to MegaCapitalG here for doing all the work and whatever. Appreciate him for doing all this work for us to be able to enjoy and watch it. You know what I mean? Let's get back to it.
Fate smiled on Mr. St. Clair once again. After Konami forcibly took control of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG in early 2009,
Yo,
they
Upper
lifted
Deck
all
fell
Upper
off.
Deck suspensions
Heavy.
on duelists. Basically, everyone got a get out of jail card, and that included Roy. I can't say that he came back leaner, but he definitely returned meaner, motivated, and sharper than ever. Remarkably, Roy once again
Yo, meaner. What was that? What was that? And sharper than ever? A couple fucking Mac packs?
got a get out of jail
Bro,
card, and that included
3.5
Roy.
years
I can't
has
say that
not
he
been
came
good to
back
this
leaner,
dude.
but he definitely returned meaner, motivated.
Like, it was not good to this dude, man. It was not good to this dude.
And sharper than ever. Remarkably, Roy once again hit the ground running as he entered the 2009 United States Championship and finished top 4 playing Blackwings. In my opinion, this was
Blackwing.
absolutely shocking
Blackwing
and
was sick.
incredible, especially considering that
Galaxy.
for such a long time he had not played
Taeyon
competitive
will be
Yu-Gi-Oh.
meta
This
in
led
Duel
Roy
Links
to
again.
once
It's a
again
possibility,
be
man.
invited to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship in 2009, held in Tokyo, Japan. For the second time, Roy held back.
Bro. He got flown out to Tokyo, Japan to fucking do this. You know what I mean? Aw, man, yo. He has a pretty dope deck list. What has he got in there? Nice. That's a really good Blackwing deck.
And be invited to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship in 2009, held in Tokyo, Japan. For the second time, Roy held back nothing and came closer to winning it all than ever. Roy thoroughly impressed, finishing in 3rd place. However, his epic 5Ds run was just getting started, as just a few short weeks after Worlds, Roy made top 16 at Shonen Jump Austin, Texas,
Top
while playing a
16.
unique skill-drained zombie deck. Within a few months of being back, not only had Roy competed in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship for a second time, but he now had multiple
He's running 3
tops
Starlights.
and proved that his superb deck building skills hadn't left him. In the next year of 2010, Roy was hitting on all cylinders, and X-Sabers may have been Roy's true calling because in 2010, he was arguably the best X-Saber duelist in North America.
Hold on. If this card you control is sent to the graveyard during the end phase, you could add one X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand.
Roy had an extraordinary year as he came in third at Shonen Jump Nashville, then placed second at YCS Toronto. As high flying
Yeah, Toronto, what up?
Predictably, it wouldn't last. In February 2011 at YCS Dallas, Roy had once again topped with X-Sabers. However, at day 2, at the top 32 deck checks, Konami judges found the bottom corners of all 3 copies of Roy's side deck Fossil Dynas had noticeable bends. Judges claimed that...
Boom. Noticeable bends on the bottom corners. I knew it. I knew it was like some corner shit so that he's able to pull the cards that he wants, right? Wow. Yo, what a scumbag, bro. What a piece of shit. There's a whole thing on Magic the Gathering. You know what? We'll do that one tomorrow.
These were the only cards in Roy's deck to have this distinguishing detail, and thus it would be easy to stack said cards. Roy defended himself in a YouTube video claiming that the members of the judge staff had initially said the cards were okay, saying that, quote, they were perfectly fine because they were in mint condition, unquote. This time, Konami and not Upper Deck was handing out a pretty harsh penalty and suspension to Roy for cheating, although not as severe as what he had received in the past.
So not 3.5.
For 2 years.
2 years.
Simply quit at this point. As Roy even stated in his video, he believed Konami was trying to weed out successful older duelists of the past.
Like Konami doesn't know what to talk about. They just don't want like great players like me and some of the better players. All the best players. They don't want repeats like greats. They just want like new people to get in the game, get better.
However, that just wasn't in Roy's DNA. Roy served out his 2-year suspension and was eligible to return in February 2013.
So, yo, eligible to return 2013. You know he returned. And, like, he ended up cheating again. What the, like, yo, 2 times. Bro, you got booked twice. You got booked twice. You see this? Yeah, that's sad. Just use his Duel Links character skill. Yo, Ghost, what's happening, dog? What's going on, everybody? Yo, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. If you're enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're about to hop right back into it. Oh, friggin' Roy. Oh, you.
How would he return from a second multiple-year suspension, you wonder? As it turns out, pretty sharp and pretty motivated, just like in the past. Roy immediately cashed in with a top 16.
Yo, his whole time off, what do you think he was doing? I think he was just like cleaning out locals. Just straight going to locals and cleaning them out for boxes. That was it. Like I could see this kid doing that. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Finished at YCS Austin with Kara Curry. Roy clearly took inspiration from Desmond Johnson's top 4 build, playing the same deck at YCS Miami earlier, but Roy had just
always wanted to do tournament. I remember when Untouchables was doing it in the back of Centennial Parkway. Yo, time. It's been a little while.
And Roy was still quite a good deck builder. This would basically mark the end of the line for Roy St. Clair's
should do it, bro. Should do it.
He would have one more YCS top in 2015, 2 years later when he made it all the way to the top 16 playing Cleveland at Columbus, but there would be no third Miracle Run the Worlds in this story. In fact, Roy's story actually has quite the sad end as he tragically passed away just 3 years ago in 2017 at the
I didn't remember that. I didn't. Oh, yo, it's not funny. It's not funny. But like, damn, bro, damn, that fucking sucks, homie. Like, jeez.
Roy's story actually has quite the sad end as he tragically passed away just 3 years ago in 2017 at the young age of 30 years old.
Damn.
In the end, I'm not sure that there's one broad consensus on Roy St. Clair in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. With all the accusations, suspensions, and stories, I think it's pretty clear that he was a habitual cheater. He's been called the Ric Flair of Ugio or the
Ric Flair
dirtiest player in the
Yu-Gi-Oh,
game.
that's
And
hilarious.
to be honest, This guy probably wrote the book on cheating in trading card games in general. But on the other hand, I personally believe he was one of the smartest and most talented duelists this game's ever seen, as well as the fact that he's probably one of the best deck builders in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. He's without a doubt very infamous, but I think that he's just as equally iconic. I think I'll close this video out by saying Roy wasn't perfect, and he certainly was no angel, at least not in terms of this game. He played fast and loose with the rules all the time, but he was still an icon in my book. And more importantly, he was one of us. He was a passionate Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist who loved this game. I want people to understand, this guy spent almost 6 full years banned from Yu-Gi-Oh! On 3 separate occasions, but he never gave up, and each time he came back and started winning like he had never left.
Nice.
Roy, if you ever see this video, I hope I told your story well.
Okay, hold on. Pause there for a second. After he just said, like, tragic and all that and whatever. You hear what he just said? I hope you see this video. What? Hold on. Wait. Huh?
Video on 3 separate occasions, but he never gave up, and each time he came back and started winning like he had never left. Roy, if you ever see this video, I hope I told you.
So, like, how would he see it if he's dead, bro? Yo, that's mean. But, like, yeah, no, man. Crazy. The real life Bandit Keith out here. He was taking tournaments. I knew it was something about the corners of the cards. Yo, that sucks. Rip. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sucks that had to happen to homie. But, yo, all shout out to MegaCapitalG. All his stuff right down here. Feel free. Check him out. We're going to go over to his page right here. He has a bunch of stuff popping off up in this piece. Videos, shorts, playlists, community. Check out his playlist. All that good stuff. He's fully into Yu-Gi-Oh! I've actually watched him for a little bit. I don't know why it wasn't subbed. But we're subbed now. And yeah, man, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Tuesday night to hang out with your homie as we were watching... Just watching some fuckery, man. No, that was pretty cool. I like the way how he did all that work on it, like breaking down everything that was going on throughout all the competitions that Buddy ended up going through. The whole breakdown, the whole history, all the research that he put into it. Huge shout out to MegaCapitalG for that. It's crazy, and I want to thank him for making the video for us to react to. And yeah, no, man, on that note, we're pretty much going to be calling it there. Hope everybody has a good night. Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll get into more of these kind of videos if that's something that you guys want to see. If that's something that you want to see and you're watching this after, leave it down in the comment section, man. All right, on that note, take it easy, have a good night, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.